Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm Cooper Naylor, and welcome to Cooper Naylor Reports. Tonight, we have a whole list of things to talk about. Of course, we want to talk about the 2021 Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. Of course, Paul Pierce, Chris Bosh, and Chris Webber, and Ben Wallace inducted into the Hall of Fame. The NBA play-in tournament starts May 18th, and the regular playoffs start May 22nd. So, of course, we're going to talk about that. And then Albert Pujols signs with the Dodgers after being waived by the Angels. Of course, that's talking about MLB. And then Sam Houston State wins the FCS playoffs, and that's FCS football. So we've got a lot to get to tonight, and we hope that you enjoy tonight's video. And so let's go ahead and get started. But of course, first of all, I do want to tell you that at the end, I am going to tell you give you a little update on the shortest marksman in the West, how things are going with that. So let's start with the 2021 Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. Of course, like I said, Paul Pierce, Chris Bosh, Chris Webber, and Ben Wallace were inducted into the Hall of Fame. And of course, if you ever watched any of those players, you know that they were great in their time. Of course, Paul Pierce was great because he could hit an occasional three-pointer, but of course, he was valuable with the jump shots and very good with his free throws. Of course, he did win an NBA championship with the Boston Celtics, I believe, in 2008. Of course, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but Paul Pierce, great player, and of course, he ended his career with the LA Clippers and played with Brooklyn before that. And he played for Washington, and he did have a couple years of a stretch there at the end of his career where he played really good basketball. So Paul Pierce inducted to the Hall of Fame. Great job for him. Chris Bosh, now he was great, but the latter part of his career, he had to sit behind. Well, I mean, he didn't have to sit, but he played right behind guys like LeBron James and Dwayne Wade in Miami. And then, of course, the last couple of years, he was injured the whole time, so he really didn't get to play much. But Chris Bosh was a great player, great big man, and he was very valuable to a team because he could help. He helped LeBron win the championship there in Miami, and so great job for Chris Bosh getting into the Hall of Fame. Chris Webber, of course, he's another big man who was really great. And, of course, if you remember, he was a part of the Fab Five, and he I believe, is the one that called timeout when Michigan didn't have any timeouts in the NCAA tournament that year. That was in 91, I believe. I want to say somewhere around 91. Of course, you can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but Chris Webber was a great player, and so great job getting him into the Hall of Fame. Another guy, and this is the last one, Ben Wallace inducted into the 2021 Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. So, of course, Ben Wallace was great, winning an NBA championship with Chauncey Billups and Rip Hamilton. That was a great team, that Pistons team, and quite frankly, he was a big part of the reason why they won the championship. Of course, they wouldn't have done it without the contribution from all of his teammates, but Ben Wallace was a great player, and so that is good for him to get into the Hall of Fame. So that is who got into the Hall of Fame. And if I believe correctly, I believe that Kobe was honored throughout the night. So that was pretty good. And of course, I think another coach that was inducted, I believe Jay Wright was inducted. And then if you know anybody else, I did not watch the ceremony, but saw the headlines and all. So you can put in chat what you think. So um oh, that's 2020 Hall of Fame. Okay. Well, either way, um let's go ahead and get to our next topic, and that is the NBA play-in tournament. So it is still kind of going on right now. Um, we're still waiting for another game, the Lakers and the Trailblazers, to get underway. Of course, I think, as if I believe right, the loser of the loser of the game the loser of the game between the Lakers and the Trailblazers is the one that is going to play the Golden State Warriors, because the Warriors claim the 8th seed in the West. Of course, as far as anybody else playing, of course, the Grizzlies and the Warriors played earlier with the Grizzlies became the 9th seed, and the 10th seed in the West, I believe, is San Antonio. So the Grizzlies and San Antonio will be facing off against each other. I do know the Pacers and the Hornets will face off against each other in the play-in tournament, and then the other East game, I want to say that Miami and Washington's going to be playing in that game. Of course, like I said, I haven't watched a lot of NBA basketball this year, so I think it's interesting, this play-in tournament style. Of course, I know that the Phoenix Suns have become a better team, so that's interesting. But I mean, going back to the play-in tournament, Golden State. Now I'll tell you, Golden State is an interesting team to watch because Golden State has played good basketball, but the thing with the Warriors is Steph Curry is having to carry that team on his back. So that's a little downside to the Warriors, but of course there is a lot of time. Of course, that I believe that's Tuesday when the play-in tournament will begin. So interesting right there. And I'll certainly be watching, but of course, comment of that other game that I missed. Of course, like I said, I haven't watched a lot of NBA basketball, so I don't have a good understanding right now. But of course, you can comment and let me know what that other game is. So, moving on to another topic, Albert Pujols has signed with the Dodgers after being waived by the Angels, and this is for the remainder of the season. Now, if you remember, Albert Pujols has won the World Series twice, and he is a very valuable piece to a team. Of course, he will be a Hall of Famer in baseball when everything is said and done. But of course, the Angels haven't been doing too awful great this last little while. Of course, you have Mike Trout, who is a great player. He's probably the best baseball player right now. And of course, you just got Joe Madden as your skipper. Of course, Joe Madden won the World Series with the Cubs just a couple years ago, and the Cubs are now left with David Ross, and they're doing okay. But Angels are an interesting team, but the Dodgers, Albert Pujols is probably the winner out of all this because Albert Pujols is going to go to a Dodgers team that is stacked with Mookie Betts, Clayton Kershaw, and I think, if I believe right, I think you still have Corey Seager. Of course, you can tell me if I'm wrong about this, but and that Dodgers team is still a good team, and they did just come off winning the World Series. So Um, I think that honestly, if you look at the Dodgers, they're probably your favorites to win the NL. As far as the AL, that can go either way, but the NL right now, I feel like the Dodgers are your team to beat. Of course, just getting Albert Pujols, that is a big signing, and yes, he is an older guy, but Albert Pujols can still provide you some heroic performances. So the Dodgers hopefully will have some luck with Albert Pujols, and of course the Angels hopefully will have some success without him. And so, of course, Pujols spent the last 10 seasons in Anaheim. Of course, they're named the Los Angeles Angels, but of course they are located in Anaheim. Of course, before spending 10 seasons in Anaheim, he did spend 11 seasons in St. Louis before that. So, of course, he has had some time in the MLB. That's totaling 21 years. So he did do pretty good, but of course, being waived by the Angels. So baseball is very interesting right now. Of course, I we are actually our studios are in Alabama, in Hartsville, Alabama. So I have, as far as my baseball concerns, has really been the Rocket City Trash Pandas minor league baseball team that has come, and I I am loving every minute of watching them. They are a great baseball team. Well, let me rephrase that. They're an okay baseball team right now, but they'll get better. They have played pretty good baseball down the stretch. They just started their season not too long ago, so that's what I've been watching a lot. So there you go. Um, and then Sam Houston State to just very recently, earlier today, has won the FCS playoffs, of course, having to go through the whole playoff system and in a spring season that was shortened due to COVID. And let me tell you, Sam Houston State played a good game, and they were down at halftime. I believe they were down 7-0 at one point, and then came back and um beat South Dakota State 17-14. So that was a great game. And let me tell you, Sam Houston State's quarterback, he played a great game today. And of course, it was one of these games where they did have a weather delay, but right before halftime. So halftime was shortened to 5 minutes. So the game was very, very fun to watch. And I'll tell you that it was a back and forth. I mean, there were big plays, but then there would be plays that the team would kill themselves with. So it was very wet there in Frisco, Texas, where the championship was being held at Toyota Stadium. But what a game that was. Sam Houston State comes out with the victory right there. Very defensive-like game, which is a lot like a lot of like what you would regularly see in football. Of course, that was the older way of playing. Now you got this newer stuff where it's all throw the football down the field the whole game and score as many points as you can. So I do think the game was very fun to watch today. So of course, Sam Houston State winning. So we are just getting started with the stream. Of course, we will be here till 6:30, giving you the latest on things. So, now I do want to talk about the film that's coming up this summer from Wooden Nails Entertainment Group. So, that is The Shortest Marksman in the West, of course, as I've told you 2 weeks ago. So I do have the latest on everything is getting set. I've got all the locations set for the film, and my cast is almost complete. Of course, we just recently had somebody drop out, so we are trying to get that situated. But of course, like I said, The film will be premiering Friday, September 10th, 2021 at 6 p.m. live here on the channel. Of course, actually, let me rephrase that. It'll be premiering. So it won't be live, but we will be premiering it. So you can watch it. And as you can watch it, and of course, later after it has premiered, you can go back and watch the full thing. But it is planned to be about an hour and a half. That's a little bit around where we want to get our duration of the film, and it is a very good film, and I hope that you'll watch it. So it is going pretty well. I got my crew set, so I'm excited right now, and I really do think that you're going to enjoy it. Of course, there's more work to be done, and like I've said before, if we enjoy doing this, filming movies and all, that Woody Nails Entertainment Group will stay and will produce more films. If this is something we enjoy doing, then we are going to continue. And so we've got a whole list of movies planned for a long time. So you will not be disappointed in what is coming up. Of course, I think I do have an idea for what would be coming up. Would be the next film coming up. So I will keep you updated. Now, as far as trailer, I am thinking we may get it around July. We may be our first trailer for it. So stay tuned for that. But also, I do want to mention that that starting on May 28th, Friday, May 28th, it will be a series behind the scenes of the film. So if you're looking to kind of see a little bit behind the scenes of everybody that's in the cast and kind of just getting to know what is going on behind the scenes, then we will provide that action for you. So, like I said, Friday, May 28th will be our first video with that. Make plans to watch that. Of course, I'm going to premiere that at 6 p.m. Eastern. Well, not Eastern time, but 6 p.m. Central time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. So that is something interesting coming up. So, of course, like you're seeing a trend that with the film and whenever the videos would drop is a Friday. It's because most of the time when you think of a film, it comes out in the theater on a Friday. So that's what the thinking is here. So, of course, I do want to mention about this show you are watching now, the Cooper Naylor Reports. If you noticed 2 weeks ago, I did say I'd come back the next week. Well, I made a decision that that holidays that happen to be on a Sunday, that I am not going to broadcast live to you because I may be spending the day with family. So that's a little bit of the decisioning behind not doing a video last week, because I was spending some time with my family on Mother's Day. So that was what was going on, and we do have a bunch of planned stuff coming up for YouTube, and so just stay tuned. Of course, it has been a great day, and I hope that you have enjoyed this stream, and I will be back next week. And so I'll give you an update on the latest on the film, and then of course we've got more coming up. So stay tuned, and I hope that you have enjoyed this, and thank you for watching, and God bless. See you next week.